Hello and welcome to my Devil's Lair guide. I'm going to walk you through all my tips and strats to help you get your solo clear or to help you with your fireteam clear. I'll be going over the strats first and then some super fun loadouts. I know this Grandmaster is one of the easier ones this season, but I do have some cool strats to show you. So starting this GM, you can do a few things. You could sparrow immediately through the middle and make it to the end, or you could run by foot on either left or right side. If you do want to sparrow through the middle, no, you do not need always on time. I actually did it on my micro mini sparrow and still made it to the end. However, you have to make sure you don't get stuck on anything on your way, so the ship or the ads towards the end don't shoot you. Your goal is to get there before the ads spawn in. If you want to go by foot, which is actually what I prefer, I like to go on the left side instead of the right. It just feels safer. There's only a few ads you need to kill on your way. And then once you've gotten to this part, be careful with the building or structure to your right. Sometimes an ad glitches out and shoots you from inside the wall. You can't do anything about it unless the ad actually walks out of it. So if that does happen, you can just restart the mission, or you can try to run past everything until you're at the end. This Grandmaster gets quite glitchy when it comes to platinum, so make sure you kill that first overload champion just in case to get your platinum reward. I have gotten guaranteed platinum runs killing this champion and all the others. Now I don't know if this is still glitched or if it has been patched. If it has been patched, I will make sure I will note it in the description. When you get to this first room, a lot of these ads like to push up along with the champion. So I was playing a bit passively and just letting everything push me, killing them all slowly. The next room has an overload on the right and a wizard on the left. Killing all these ads will eventually spawn in a bunch of thrall near the wizard. Continuing into the room, I aim for the barrier first and then worry about the other ads. Be careful with the snipers at the very back right here. And after clearing the rest of the ads in this room, I go to the back of the trains for a good place with cover. You can stand in a little hole area for cover, but eventually you'll have ads push and spawn right next to it, so feel free to stand even further back for a good view of everything. Again, be careful with the snipers in the back. If you're standing on the very back side of the trains, the snipers will not be able to reach you nor shoot at you. This room has 3 different ad clear waves. The first wave will have 1 overload, the second will have a barrier that spawns right next to the hole, and the third one will have 2 overloads. Each waves comes with a bunch of other ads, along with knights, wizards, and even exploding shanks. Continue into the next room, you will encounter a few snipers and an overload. Then, once you get close to the outside, be careful with a lot of snipers. 2 snipers will spawn on top of that middle building, and a few ads will spawn underneath along with a barrier. Not only that, but if you look straight ahead here, you can see some snipers being very sneaky, and the closer you get to the doorway or windows, the more likely those snipers can shoot you. I recommend taking down the snipers on a building as soon as possible, and if the barrier does have them protected, stunning the barrier and then killing the snipers is definitely the move. I personally take out the very far snipers as well just because they hurt a ton. You can take them out before or after killing the barrier. When those ads are killed, moving out the doorway, you'll have another sniper on top of the left building, along with a few more ads spawning at the bottom. As soon as you push up to that middle building, the spider, 2 breaks, and a few more ads will spawn in. So here's me killing some more snipers from a distance before I even spawn in the next few ads. Now you don't need to do that, but the snipers can be kind of sneaky, and when you do push up at certain angles, they may even snipe you. When the spider does spawn in, it has 2 types of attacks. One are just regular normal shots, and the other is a rocket shot, which you will see it start aiming with the red laser. To take down the spider, I jump on the middle building and slowly shoot it. However, the snipers near the spider could still snipe at you, as well as the bricks if they get a good angle. You want to keep in mind, the more ads you kill around the areas, you might end up getting another ship that comes flying in to spawn in more ads. That ship has turrets which can shoot at you, so as soon as you see that ship spawn in, definitely take some cover. After the spider is killed, I personally go for the bricks next, either left or right side, and kill any other adds or champions that cross my path. I personally like to walk on the left side of the entire area and start pushing up to all the other adds and champions that are around the area. In the boss room, I immediately push into the left safety room and work on killing the adds and champions. After the boss is damageable, you'll have adds spawn in fairly quickly, so if you are outside the room, be careful. The adds spawn in waves, so you can do add clear and then boss damage and just repeat that pattern. Another trick is to go downstairs to get a better angle on the boss if you can't see him from the upstairs windows. However, careful with the adds down below. There may be some that are just chilling down there and you definitely want to kill them because they may push up the stairs inside your room. Once you have taken down the first bar, you will have more adds spawn in as well as 4 smaller servitors surrounding the boss. Their splash damage can hurt a lot, so those are the ones I take out first. I usually take out the 3 servitors that see me and then take care of the adds, that way the boss nor the small servitors is shooting at me while I focus on the adds. If you have that one last servitor up and no adds on the top, feel free to run out and grab some ammo. The smaller servitor shots don't hurt as much as long as you're being quick. And whenever you're ready, take out the small servitor for more boss damage. When the second bar is down, that's when you will get 4 servitors, 2 overload champions, and some more adds. Again, I take care of the 3 servitors that can actually see me because of their splash damage. Always pay attention for any adds that may run into your room, even if it's a very rare occurrence, it can still happen. Then I take care of both the overloads. One is usually right outside the window, the other one likes to chill on the top left up the staircase. Most of the time the top left one pushes down, and if he doesn't, you can just run out there, peek so he sees you, and maybe have him push down to you. When that overload and a servitor are down, you can start doing boss damage again. Lots of adds will spawn in this time, so take it as slow as you need. Use the top windows and the downstairs area as an advantage. The boss may even spawn right in front of your window, so be careful when he does. Other than that, once you've gotten the boss down, it's a GG. So, moving on to loadouts. For this GM, there will be lots of fun loadouts to choose from just because it's on the more easier side of the GMs. I may not be able to give you all the fun loadouts, but I'll include a good variety. Let's start with Warlock, more specifically Arc. For Vesper, which releases arc shockwaves from Rift and blinds adds, the Rift also charges a lot faster when you're near enemies. For the subclass, Chaos Reach, or any super you prefer, Healing Rift, Jump of Preference, Chain Lightning, and Pulse Grenade. For aspects, Arc Solve for Arc Buddies to help kill, and Electrostatic Mind, which creates the ionic traces on Arc ability, jolted, or blinded enemy kills. For fragments, Shocks or Grenade jolt targets, Resistance to be more resistant when near enemies, Vaults to become amplified on finishers, or you can use Ions, which gives you ionic traces on jolted adds, and Amplitude, which makes an orb when killing enemies while you're amplified. Then for the artifact, I would use anything that is arc related that will help you out, and for the mods on armor as well, it should be anything to help you out with getting your abilities to charge quicker. The next build is Fallen Sunstar, which will be the exact same build as the Vesper, except that it's a different exotic armor piece. Fallen Sunstar makes your ionic traces move quicker and grant double the ability energy. And if you don't have any of those armor pieces, you can also use Crown of Tempest, which increases your ability charges on ability or jolt kills. Next build is going to be Warlock Void, which works well with the Controverse Hold Arms. The Controverse Hold Arm makes you resistant to incoming damage while charging the grenade, as well as return grenade energy on hit. For subclass, Super of Preference, Healing Rift, Jump of Preference, Pocket Singularity, and Vortex Grenade. Aspects are Feed the Void, which grants you Devour, also known as healing, when killing an enemy with a Void ability, and with Final Blows, you can extend your Devour timer. And Chaos Accelerant, which allows you to hold and overcharge your grenade, making it more effective, as well as your Vortex Grenade will be bigger and have a longer duration. The fragments for this build are Remnants, increases the duration of your grenade, Undermining, your grenades weaken adds. Persistence, buffs like Invis, Overshield, and Devour last longer. And Starvation gives Devour when picking up an orb or Void Breach. Artifact mods are simple. You can select all the ones that are for Void, which there won't be that many, but they're still very helpful. As for mods on the armor, anything to help you get your abilities back quicker. Next, we have Titan, starting off with Strand, using the Abeyant Boots, which sends out extra suspending projectiles to enemies when popping your barricade. On subclass, Blade for a super, Rally Barricade, Jump of Preference, and Shackle Grenade. Aspects are Into the Fray, which increases your melee recharge while you have Woven Mail, and Drenger's Lash to have to suspend projectiles sent out from your barricade. For fragments, we have Mind, which gives you class energy when killing a suspended enemy. Wisdom creates an orb when killing a suspended enemy with precision shots. Warding gives you Woven Mail when picking up an orb. And Continuity, which applies extra duration on Suspend, Unravel, and Sever. On your artifact, you can unlock anything that has to do with Strand. These top two mods are really good if you're using any Strand weapons. And here are the mods that I use on my build, which is anything that makes orbs and gives me my abilities back quicker. Next Titan build is Arc with the Heart of Inmost Light chest piece, which charges your two abilities quicker that you didn't use first, and your grenade and melee do more damage. On subclass, we have Thunder Crash or Super of Preference, Rally Barricade, Jump of Preference, Thunderclap, and Pulse Nade. Aspects, I use Touch of Thunder for better pulse nades, and Knockout for buffing your melee after wounding an enemy. Resistance makes you more resistant when nearby adds. Ions gives Ionic Trace when killing jolted enemies. Shock, Grenade jolts enemies. And Magnitude for a longer grenade duration. On the artifact, you can choose all the arc modes that are available, and this is also how my mods on my build look like. Next, we have a Void Titan build with Heart of Inmost Light, which will be the same as the Arc build. On subclass, Super of Preference, Rally Barricade, Jump of Preference, Shield Throw, and Vortex Grenade. For aspects, Control Demolition to make enemies volatile with a Void ability, causing them to explode and giving you healing if nearby. And Bastion to gain Overshield from Super and Barricade. For fragments, Remnants for longer grenade, Undermining to weaken enemies with grenade, Starvation grants you Devour from Orb or Breach, and Persistence for longer Overshield and Devour. Artifact mods would be anything with Void, which there are some helpful Void mods in there. And for armor mods, they're going to be pretty much the exact same as the one on Archer. Let's start with the Void build first, using Graviton Forfeit, which gives you longer invis, melee recharges quicker, and more recuff while you're invisible. For super, it could be any super you want, Marksman Dodge for faster cooldown, Jump of Preference, Smoke Bomb, and Vortex Grenade. For aspects, Vanishing Step to become invis when dodging, and Trapper's Ambush to use Quick Fall Dive for longer invisibility. Throwing the Smoke Bomb also weakens the adds. Next, we have Fragments, Obscurity, Invis on finishers, Persistence, longer invisibility, Overshield, and Devour. Undermining, your grenades weaken enemies. And Starvation, picking up an Orb of Power or Void Breach gives you Devour. Here are also my artifact mods, which should be anything that has to do with Void. And your armor mods will be anything that gives you your invis back quicker. Another hunter build would be with Strand, using 6 Coyote, which gives you a second dodge that you can use to suspend more enemies. For super, Silk Strike, Marksman Dodge, Jump of Preference, Threaded Spike, and Shackle to suspend. Aspects, Widow Silk to give you an extra grenade charge for more suspend, and Ensnaring Slam to allow you to dive down and suspend all nearby enemies around you. For the fragments, Generation, dealing damage generates grenade energy, Continuity, for longer suspend, unravel, and sever effects, Mind, to get class energy when killing a suspended enemy, and Warding, which gives Woven Mail when picking up Orbs of Power. For the artifact, anything that has to do with Strand. If you're also using Strand weapons, I highly recommend using the top 2 Strand mods for your weapons. And here are also my armor mods, which has anything to do with getting my suspend back quicker. Now I haven't gone over weapons in the past, but I thought I'd give you some recommendations. This does depend on what subclass you're using and if you're using your abilities against champions, like Arc Jolt's stun overloads and Strand suspend prevents the barrier from popping their shield. So depending on that, depends on which weapons you're most likely using. Here are some barrier weapons that are very useful: Wish Ender, Arbalist, Auto Rifle, Ariana's Vow, and Revision 0. And these are the weapons for Overload: Limonarch, Trace Rifle, and Thunderlord. Like I said before, there are more builds and weapons useful in this GM, but I didn't want to overwhelm anyone too much. I will also link all the dim loadouts in the bottom for you to look at. I really hope this guide helps you with your solo or fireteam runs. Feel free to give me some feedback on these guides, and thank you so much for watching.